All right, we live, baby. What's going on, y'all? It is a rainy storm checking in for February, aka Aquarius and Pisces season. If I could get this thing to stay, we would be good to go. Hold up, wait a minute. Like I told y'all for the last video that I made, I'm definitely going to be doing monthly lives to kind of check in, get some channel messages that I can, and just talk about a little bit of what's going on for this February forecast. For those of y'all that don't know, my name is Crew, aka A Rainy Storm, a cosmic root work astrologist specializing in Mars activations, as well as North Node and South Node consultations. So if you would like a personal reading with me, you can hit me up at arainystorm.ways.com/info. And you can find me on all social media at A Rainy Storm. Also, last month we dropped it was like a January, it was a Capricorn season, but really January 2023 astrology, kind of like journal that you can keep for the year. I will be dropping the Aquarius, or I would say February 2023 astrology, probably sometime today. Yes, so if you want to go ahead and cop that, you definitely can. But yeah, I hope everybody's been good. I hope that January treated everybody really good now that we're here in the middle of winter, you know. And I hope everybody has been taking it easy because I know that there's been a lot of things going on within the ethers collectively, like I said in the last one, that we can really feel the changes that are kind of bubbling beneath the surface. Shout out to my Saturn and Aquarius babies that are going to be finishing up their Saturn returns. Really, honestly, it's crazy because we're still going to be in a Saturn return, especially if you follow Vedic astrology. We're still going to be kind of sort of in a Saturn return period. So it's kind of like, did we really finish the Saturn return? But it's going to be like the aftermath of the Saturn return before it moves into Pisces. So you definitely want to check to see exactly where Saturn is going to be moving in regards to your houses and birth chart when it comes to this Piscean energy. Also, Pluto will be moving into Aquarius next month. I think I'm going to make a separate video on that. Like, I have videos on Saturn and Pisces and Saturn or Pluto in Aquarius and stuff, but I think I'm going to make like more of like a detailed, long video about these energies that are playing out and my own perspective of it. I've been kind of hunting and gathering information. I've definitely listened to some incredible, just amazing astrologers on their own personal take on it, but I definitely want to kind of do the back end on my end and just kind of see, my own take on it. Hello, Andre, and everybody else who's checking in. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? The comment section is open this time. Last time, I guess, when you put like, yes, this video is made for kids, it blocks everything completely. So I apologize for that for the last video because I had to open it up. I'm like, what? Where's the comments? Like, what's going on? I want to hear from y'all. Like, how's this been going for y'all? To my Saturn Aquarius babies, I would love to know in the comments how this Saturn return has been for you. I know like we're still in the thick of it, but as things are kind of closing up, I would love to know like some of the lessons that you might have learned, some of the things that you might want to share to, this next generation. Not necessarily their Saturn sign, but just some things that you would have taken from your own Saturn return. Personally, for me, not out of it just yet. Like I said, it doesn't kind of move out of Saturn and Aquarius until next month. But I think personally for me, and I think I got a really good... when I was in the thick of it, actually, I had got from some really dope messages, like from people like, just go through it. Like, don't try to figure it out. Don't try to, just let it all happen. And then you could kind of come into that, like, retrospection of like, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but if it's just one thing that I could take away from my Saturn in Aquarius. For those of that aren't in their Saturn return just yet, or might be going through their second Saturn return, but specifically to the ones that haven't been through the Saturn returns yet that are really watching this, I would really start looking into your Saturn sign early, before you get into it. Now, that's not to say that you have to overanalyze it, but I think getting a clear scope of understanding, like, what house is playing in, what is aspecting that particular house, even taking note of what has been, like, what is happening during that time, I think would be very beneficial, just coming up out of it. For me personally, as a Pisces rising, mine was happening in my 12th house. So there was a lot of like subconscious things that were going on within my Saturn return. And I was just like very, I guess more so in a space of just like, damn, like it was like a culmination point, right? It was just like, damn, up into this entire my 30 years of my life. And really it started at 27, for real. Like, that's when I started questioning this world and just all types of stuff. Like, I'm gonna make a whole separate video on my own personal Saturn return, just like, some things that I've like learned from it and things like that, but I'm not gonna go like too deep into it. But I'm gonna kind of like break my own thing down. But it was like really a combination point for me. I think it hit the hardest at 30 for me. 29, 30, was like, I was like, damn, hey dude, what's going on? I'm good too, by the way, Andre. Thank y'all for asking. Happy early birthday, 29 in the house. So you are, yeah, you in the Saturn Aquarius generation too. How's that been for you? Definitely share with me. I would love to hear how it's been, like where is it at in your chart and how you've experienced it and things like that. But for me, let me open this. I need like the lighting is, hold on. Doop, 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 real quick. Basically, oop, wrong password. Hold on. Okay. So I know for me personally, what was I saying? Oh, the culmination point was like 29, 30. I was like, wait, what the have I been? What? And then Neptune has been in Pisces on my ascendant. So I've been like, I wear my stunner glasses at night. So I like, what the fuck has been really happening, And so it's kind of like when Saturn came into my subconscious, for example, it was kind of like I had to take the stunner shades off, right? I love me a stunner shade, but it was like I had to take my stunner shades off, right? And I had to really start to see things clearly, but it happened slowly. Like, it happened real, like, then again, I'm like kind of looking at, because Uranus is in Taurus in my third, so it was like things that would happen like quick, fast, that would move me into another place, and like, oh, do you see this? Oh, do you see that? It was kind of like basically I had my muffin cap blown blue, so my wig had to get blown off in order for me to see that there were just a lot of things that I needed to personally clear. There was a lot of things that had to be delayed so I could come back to myself and really understand what was like truly going on with me. Like, even for this year, I was like, this year for me is a time of me focusing on me, personally. I just want to be able to be in a better position to where I'm taking care of myself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and all those aspects, so I can give in the ways that I want to give. And I'm not even just talking like material wealth or monetarily. Like, I want to be able to take the best fucking care of myself. So the people around me, my communities, my families, my soul families, my tribe, all that kind of stuff, like, I'm able to give out of full cups. Well, I would never compare my cup to be dusty, so let's not do that. But okay, but what I am saying is I just want to give from an ever-flowing cup because I nurtured that cup. So moving along, let me see. My Saturn is in Pisces. Whenever I think of Saturn Aquarius, I think of Transformers. Oh yes, you said your Saturn is in Pisces. You at 29. You said you're turning 29 this year. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Because I thought my 27 babies were Saturn and Pisces, like all my 27-year-olds. Okay, Saturn and Pisces. All right. Yes, we are the Transformers. Pluto, Scorpio, also too, is the Transformers of this generation. Shout out to us. Okay. Saturn and Pisces to me, which, like I said, I'm going to come back. I promise. We're going to get into it. But Saturn and Pisces to me is the Transformers. It's like the true Transformer era. No. Saturn Aquarius is Transformers. Saturn and Pisces is the healing, spiritual, ascending collective. Right? So after we've been transformed, we ascend to the next dimension, the next level, whatever you want to call it. So let's get into February 2023, shall we? Okay. So today, as I record this, we are in February 2nd. There is a Ceres retrograde, which I'm not going to go into Vesta or Ceres at all, but I definitely am going to start talking about different planets and outer planets this year too. I didn't really touch on that not last year, but the year before last. But I do definitely want to touch on these different planets and things like that, and what they also mean for our birth charts, because if we're going to look at it, we might as well look at the whole thing, right? Yeah? Okay. So as of February 5th, we will be experiencing the full moon in Leo. So I know we've heard of the drama, like I said, Saturn is still in Aquarius. That opposition to the moon can kind of, or just in scope of the moon, can kind of be on some, hey, hi Tiffany. What's going on? I don't know if you just hopped on, but I was asking everybody, depending on where your Saturn position is, if you are a Saturn Aquarius or Saturn in Pisces. If not, that's okay, but your Saturn return and how that was for you, I would love to hear about it. I'm going to be asking more about it too, as like we are moving into this new Saturn period, but I just love to hear about how people's Saturn returns were to them and are to them as they're like going through it, experiencing it or whatever. But the Leo full moon will definitely be going down on February 5th. I think a lot of this energy definitely has to do with heartfelt, heart centering. I look at Aquarius more as like the mind, and I look at, or just mental capabilities, mental capacities, whereas I look at Leo more so as heartfelt energy. I also look at this as honestly one of those things where it's just like, if you're not doing the things that you're passionate about, like truly passionate about, especially in the times that we're moving in, I feel like this full moon is going to help you reevaluate your passion, reevaluate what actually fires you up, what ignites you, what kind of gives you like that child energy. I would definitely also look to children, and not like children, animals, and things like that. Like if you have some children around you, or you have nieces and nephews, or your children of your own, or you are around some kids and things like that. I don't know. I feel like, thank you so much, Tiffany. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I would look at them as little messengers. I would look at them as, no, let's not call them little, big messengers. I feel like children and animals kind of invigorate this energy of like they help you come back home to yourself. This world kind of tries to pull you out of this like you're an adult, be an adult, like you know there's a difference between childishness, right, and maturity, and what we call maturity, but I don't think you can have one without the other, or I don't think you should have one without the other, right? Because our souls are limitless. Like, we never get to a certain age where we have to be or transition into something. And so I think with this Leo full moon, that yes, definitely, Andre, innocence. There's like a childlike innocence that we need to restore, and really evaluate the things around us. Definitely see where placement is, or where it's happening in your houses and your chart specifically for you. But I really do feel like this is gonna be like, damn, what does actually make me feel like passionate? And if it doesn't, it could be, I mean, we have Jupiter in Aries right now, you know. And so it's just kind of like, if it doesn't make you feel invigorated, even Venus is in Pisces right now, and I know a lot of times like we could get like kind of swooped into that Pisces, in which Pisces, let's just be real, Venus in Pisces is exalted there. Like, it loves, Venus loves Pisces. So that also adds fuel to the fire too. It's like, damn, if this shit is not like fueling me spiritually, um, a heartfelt, centered space, it's like, does it really even exist? Like, is this my life? And do I want to play and be a part of it? So I think this Leo full moon is going to really ask you, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the 5th, but it could definitely be around like just this time of like, you're just kind of looking at things like, damn, like, if it doesn't bring you that fire, and I'm not saying that it has to be consistent fire all the time, because there's going to be things that you love to do, then sometimes they just might, you might not always have that consistent zest, like zest in, like, not to say that you ever would lose it, but you might be like, damn, I'm tired, like, I'm just tired right now or whatever, but you still love to do it, you still get up for it, you still just, it invigorates you to move and do and things like that. Also too, romantically, and I don't necessarily mean romantically like in a relationship. Like, it could be a relationship, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a romantic relationship that you experience with your friends, it could be, shoot, just romantic energy that you experience it with yourself. I think romance, and especially like as I'm starting to explore like romantic things for myself, and just like how we experience romance within the world, there are so many things that I connect my romantic energy to, like, shit, the way I cook, the way I put my shea butter on after I just get out the shower, like the way that I tend to my vessel and things. So I would definitely say, even though I know Leo is the heart, it's not necessarily like the entire physical, I mean, it pumps the physical body, but I would look at how you just kind of romanticize things, or not romanticize things, but you look in how you are in this conversation of romanticism or romantic with the world, and with yourself too, your inner world and your inner self. One thing that I've definitely noticed about myself, just even with this energy, and just could even go into the Leo full moon, like, I like to look good. You know what I mean? I think it's the Leo in me, but it's just like, I like to, when I look good, I feel good. It's not necessarily um, there's nothing wrong with taking care of this vessel. I know that there's more that meets the eye. You know what I mean? I ain't no ding bags over here. You feel me? But it's just more so like, I like to feel good. I like to look good, and overall, it just makes other things in my life it just adds more color into my life when I'm feeling like my best, self and things like that. And I also think it helps with confidence. You know what I mean? For sure. So yeah, this Leo full moon, I definitely would say, maybe there was like an album that you used to listen to. I don't know why, like, I have music playing in my head. It's really Currency. I don't know why Currency's playing in my head right now. Currency's hot spitter. But like, there was like music that you used to listen to back in the day that really got you going. Soldier Boy's coming in my mind. Like, Soldier Boy, tell him. Like, I don't know. right, then snap your fingers. Hey, I don't know. It's coming to me right now, but I'm just saying, maybe there's like some music that you used to listen to back in the day that used to get you going and up, and you just kind of stopped listening to it, or there's just certain things that you just kind of stopped doing. I would just say, like, bring it back. Bring it all the way back. Get you a playlist together, get you like some type of regime, whatever you want to call it, together, that just kind of push you in that mode. It's also a very creative sign as well. So it's just like, just getting yourself in the mood, getting yourself revigorated. Now, the opposite end of this energy, it could be a lot of drama. You want to definitely, like I said, check into, or things that can be a little bit on the dramatic end of things, that could be, because it's like this fiery convulsion, which I really do look at Leo as the fireplace in the house. I don't really like, we're just like, let me take myself out of this. It's like one of those things. It's like, when if you throw things in the fire, it might pop, right? You put oil in it, okay, you can't put oil in the fire. So it's just like, it's pick your battles is what I'm trying to say, for real. Like, just, you don't have to, if it doesn't involve you, you don't have to be involved in it. Don't put yourself in it if you don't need to. Maybe spend that going to a play. I don't know, spend that maybe creating a story, creating like a script, or shooting a film, or just something that allows you to explore like those different heightened levels of creativity in a real dope way. Allow that fire, channel that fire into something that elevates, and more so than like just confusion. Mars is still in Gemini, by the way. I just want to say that. Just want to put that out there. So it can get a little messy, but you can also fuel that energy into something that is cool and fun and loving. So then, like I said, Vesta enters Aries on the 7th. I don't want to necessarily talk too much about, like I said, those different planets and stuff like that. Like I said, I'll talk about those in another video for sure this year, and we can like kind of go into that in the history of those planets and things like that. And I'm also going to be doing that too. Like, I really want to talk about like, where did we get this planetary energy where does this planetary energy come from, some of the history about it and things like that. Like, I kind of went into those in those videos, but I want to go a little bit deeper into it, and even ancient wise, what these have meant, and these symbols and signs and all that kind of stuff. And we will definitely talk about that this year, for real. Like, I'm coming out of my Saturn return, so we could talk about some things for sure. Mercury enters Aquarius in February 11th. All right, there's a lot of things going on actually too. I know event wise, February 11th. I know for me, I don't know about y'all, but it's just a lot of stuff, and I think that's on a Saturday too. But Mercury enters Aquarius on February 11th. Okay, so not only is Saturn in Aquarius right now, but Mercury is in Aquarius. There has been a lot of news, and I don't watch the news. It's just some stuff kind of pops up, and it's been things in conversation. But I do want to bring this up because it's something that came to me like crazy in one day, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to, like, this is crazy. So I'm not going to go too deep into it because I don't know too deeply about it, but I thought it was noteworthy of bringing up. But there has been a lot of talk about 3G and 4G and 5G. Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of this information, but I think it's worth noting that Aquarius does rule technology. And yes, heavy Aquarian energy. It does rule technology. And so I just want to say, not here to make any predictions or anything like that, but just I would definitely keep an eye on how much you are allowing your phone to kind of suck you in. I've even had to watch it myself, like just how much information I'm ingesting. Mars is still in Gemini, and I'm gonna keep saying that. Mars is still in Gemini right now. That's also media, technology, information. It's like an information overload, right? So where Mercury is the messenger, right, which rules Virgo and Gemini, and it's moving into Aquarius, Saturn restricts. It wants to restrict these things. So when Saturn is also in Aquarius too, and Mercury is going to be moving into Aquarius there, it's kind of like one of those things, right? And then the sun is in Aquarius on top of that. There could be new restrictions. And also too, the US is a Sagittarius rising, which it's happening in all this energy is going to be playing out in the US's third house. So I say that all to say that there could be some or trying to be, we have already talked about censorship happening in the world, but there definitely could be some technological restrictions that could be coming into play. I would not be surprised if there was news to come out about things. They're already trying to like this. I've heard this, the word around town is that they're already trying to ban TikTok, and so all this information is coming out in droves right now. So there could be real information. There are revolutions that are and been happening around the world, and I think that there's going to be, or could be, just a surge of energy and waves of energy that come out where more people are talking about what is going on in their countries, what is going on in their communities. And I think what happens is, because I look at Aquarius as kind of like a tidal wave. I know it's an air sign, but it also is the water barrier. So it's kind of like, I think of it like electricity, thunderstorms, tornadoes, and things like that. So it just creates like a wave, like frequency, energetic frequency of waves around the world, where our consciousness becomes intrinsically connected to each other. And now we're like, oh wow, this is happening over here in our country. Oh wow, this is happening over here in our country. And they're trying to restrict that. They don't want us to know what's really going on between each other in these different portals and these different worlds that we're in. They just don't. Once people start to catch wave of other people doing things, especially when it comes to like revolutionizing the system and things like that, they're gonna want to like restrict that, because they're like, oh no, we don't want these things to start this, and like have this ripple effect of energy, which it has done and could do again. Let's just be real. So the sun, after that, following when Mercury goes into Aquarius, the sun will be conjuncting Saturn. So not only do we have Mercury in Aquarius, Sun in Aquarius, conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, happening in the third house of America. This is going, which basically the third house is the Gemini house of information, media and things, communication and things like that. You have to take into account that, we are in some really trying times right now. Like, and information is being censored in ways in which you would never think. AI and technology is another thing that we've been talking about as well, of one of those things where like I forget what that app was called, when like people were being able to put their faces and they would make like a graphic art of they would be able to make like a graphic art, photo and videos and things like that. But even Snapchat, that's coming to mind right now, of our phones, even with the face recognition technology that basically can say, hey, wasn't that you in this place on February 2nd, 2023? And you're like, no, that's not me. Wasn't doing that. I was actually at home eating. And they're like, but no, that doesn't look like you. That looks exactly like you, actually. I think think that that's you. So I'm just like, this is all coming to mind right now, just like with that energy of like advancement, like super advancement of technology. Aquarius also rules travel. So different ways and modes of travel. If it's not something that's like groundbreaking and underground, of like they're unveiling it to the mass, right? It's like something that they're like talking about future for moving, you know. Oh, we're about to be going to space and Mars, you know, or we're about to, we've just contacted this and that, you know. So just being aware of, I just say that all to say, and coming back to the one of just being aware of the information that you are taking in on a daily basis, and also just taking time to, and I'm gonna be saying this throughout the year. I know I said it last month, but I'm gonna be saying this throughout the year. But when you can, I even have to remind myself to disconnect from the social media, disconnect from these things that are meant to suck you in, or meant to trigger these different kinds of energies within you. Like I said, Aquarius energy is very rebellious, right? So it wants to get people collectively, because it rules the collective, so it wants to get people to rise up and do these things. So the media has put certain things in place to get people to not necessarily come together, sometimes not necessarily always come together to be the shift, but actually go against each other. Once again, Mars is still in Gemini, the warrior god of Mars and the twins of Gemini. So just keeping that in mind, for sure, when you are just out there scrolling and looking, and your subconscious mind is sucking in all this information and energy. Yes, social media is definitely a loop, and it kind of keeps you sucked in. You'll look up 3 hours later, you're still scrolling. So just keeping that in mind, like, ooh, okay, let me get up off of here and, maybe go write in my journal or something, or go take a walk and get some fresh air. So I just want to put that out there and in mind, and keep that. Venus will be conjuncting Neptune on the 15th. Venus, like I said, is currently in Pisces. Neptune is also currently in Pisces. I don't know exactly where y'all's Pisces, or where the Pisces energy is falling in your chart. But I do, because Venus is exalted in Pisces. I feel like it is a lovely time. There's two sides of the coin and everything. There's a couple sides of the coin of everything, really. But I think on the flip side of this Venus Neptune energy, it kind of goes back to this Aquarian side of it, where you can honestly get sucked in the escapism. And it's not just with Pisces energy. I think even with Aquarius energy, if we're just kind of moving down the line of this stuff, it's like technology keeping you sucked in. Even the metaverse, I'm not going to get into it, but just the meta, like completely checking out of this quote unquote reality and being sucked into these different realities. So I would just say, with just Venus conjunct Neptune, and I know it's on the 15th, but it just kind of overcast like towards the end of the month. If you have like certain just coping mechanisms or escapism tendencies that keep you checked out from your present reality, definitely just take note of that. Things like overly like drinking, and Piscean things as like alcohol, and like I said, any forms, I'm not even just going to go down the line with that, but just any type of forms of escapism that just kind of have you just checked out and not into reality. Like, I feel like there is different forms of escapism that can be healthy to a certain degree, of like, and I wouldn't even want to call it escapism, like a vacation to me. I don't feel like a vacation is escapism. I feel like a vacation, and life I feel like should be a vacation. So let me not even start there. I feel like it's more so of like, if you just had a long day, and you just watch one of your favorite shows maybe that just make you laugh. And so like those kind of forms of escapism, but being so sucked into where it's like you can't get out, I think it's just something to just keep note of. But Venus conjunct Neptune also too creatively, that's why I was talking about that Leo full moon, and then just going into this energy at the end of the month. This would just be a really good time to, before Saturn goes into Pisces, Saturn goes into Pisces, to really have like deep visualizations, deep seated visualizations of future forward looking, just very much just having like this these downloads from the universe to kind of see like your future, like how do I say this, like I'm really trying to think of how really having this time to visualize what your life is and could be, is meaning happening now and could be meaning happening future forward. When Saturn moves into Pisces, we do talk about making things concrete and real, because Saturn or Pisces lives so much in the spiritual realm, and Pisces it's this Saturnian energy is more grounded in this version of reality. But I feel like this month, just overall, and like I said, this Venus and Neptune conjunction, it's like, damn, what are my dreams really? Like, what do I really want to create in this world? What do I really want to create in this lifetime? And knowing that you have the power to. Saturn is going to ask you, like, okay, you say that you know what I mean? Like, it's Saturn and Pisces, bless y'all. Like, really, bless us all for real with this Saturn and Pisces transit, because Saturn just, wherever it goes, it just does not come to play. That's not to like I said, fearmonger or scare y'all into it. It really does give you like a clear look at things, like wholeheartedly, and it asks you, okay, how committed are we actually to making these things happen? So I would really take the 15th to visualize what those things could look like for you, just future forward moving. Like, shit, how do I want the world? How do I want my world? How do I want my reality? What do I want my community to look like? What do I want to feel like, especially just being in this vessel? Because to me, Pisces is the vessel. It's the last sign of all the signs. Like, I know we talk about Aries being the first, Aries is the head, but Pisces is the entire vessel. So keeping that in mind too when this Venus conjunction in Neptune happens, for sure. Visualization, I would definitely say, very via writing, via voice memo, via painting, via anything that just meditation, any of those Piscean things that you can really ancestral connection will also be another thing too. Just connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your spiritual teams, connecting with your spirit guides. If you have a shaman or have been thinking about going to some type of shaman, or just getting any kind of, doing any kind of spiritual work, I feel like this day would be amazing for that. Also too, Pisces rules the feet, so getting some type of foot massage or feet massage, yes. Creating over consuming. Let me go to the things real quick to see. Oh, here we go. Now I could say, it comes up and then it leaves it. I could see you guys now on here. Yes, creating over consuming, for sure. Hey, Claire. I've been off alcohol for 2 weeks and I feel more clarity. Pisces rising. Hey, Pisces rising. We are so rare. I just want to say that. Pisces rising, Aries rising as well, but Pisces risings are very rare in astrology. So to my Pisces rising out there, I love y'all. I really do. And I see y'all, I see us, and we're still here. And also too, this Pisces energy is going to be coming in very, very thick these next 3 years when Saturn moves into Pisces. But that's another conversation for another time, because y'all know how I feel about y'all and us, and we'll go there for another separate video for another time. But definitely congratulations on your sobriety, especially intentionally, with alcohol. Now it's interesting because, oh God, Okay, we'll talk about it because next we'll talk about the new moon in Pisces. Okay, and that's the 20th. So we go from the Venus Neptune conjunction on the 15th. Then we go from that to the new moon in Pisces. So with the new moon in Pisces happening February 20th, I really do believe that from February 20th and onward, life is not going to look the same. And I know you can say that, well, when we wake up, things are not the same. I get it. Trust me. But Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. Honestly, this probably is the real new year. Honestly, I know we talk about spring and the equinox and stuff like that, but when we have the ending, right? The new moon and it's ending in Pisces. This to me is the new, or I would say like a portal that opens up for this newness to kind of come in. And honestly, there has been a lot of weight. We've been going through a Piscean like age for a while now. There's been a lot of collective healing that has happened on molecular. I don't know why that's coming to me. Molecular levels. This has more so been like, to me, this is like lifetime of healing, not just this current reality base that we've lived in, but these are like lifetimes coming to pass, right? Ancestral connections that have come to pass. So things that you've carried on from your ancestral lineage that has coming to pass. That's not to say that everything is just going to be cleared and that's not to say that, but I mean that these things are actually starting to come to a head. A lot of us collectively have had to do a lot of generational clearing, regardless of we acknowledge it or not, but we've had to do a lot of collective generational clearing. So the things in which your family lineage has not come to clear, you are currently in the position of doing that, and to do that and have all the resources available to you to do those things. This Pisces new moon also too, like I said, that Venus conjunct Neptune on that 15th is still going to be shadowing over, because Neptune will still be in Pisces until the 20th, which Neptune eventually, or Venus will be moving after that out of Pisces after the 20th. So this energy is like that energy that's been stored up in that body leaving the feet. If you are around water, can be around water, please wash it away. Allow the universe to wash it away. I don't know why I'm like seeing somebody with a full vase of cup, like a full vase of water, just pouring it on themselves, like literally just taking this big ass thing of a vase of water and like walking to the thing, but they're carrying it like this to the water, and it's this big jug of water, and then they're like right by the water, and then they just pour the bucket all on themselves. Like, it's just like, that's the visualization that I'm getting. And I feel like this Pisces new moon is going to kind of collectively bring that energy of like I was saying earlier, like that culmination point of true ascendance, true healing to the collective. Like, it's really been time. It's really been time to allow ourselves to release. And I know full moons are more on the release end, but I just feel like this new moon is gonna give that, just, if you haven't had like a deep cry in a long time, just a deep heart-wrenching cry. I'm not saying that you got to pinch yourself to make yourself cry, but if you've been holding back that water, just allow yourself to just let them tears fall. Like, just allow yourself to, like, I was talking to a guy, and I won't keep this long. I'll just kind of wrap this up. Venus also enters Aries, like I said, on the 20th, and I'll talk about that after that. But I was talking to this guy the other day, and I could tell he had a lot of anxiety. I could just feel it you know, through my bones as I was talking to him. I'm like, man, this is thinking to myself, like, God, he has so much anxiety. Like, I could feel his energy as he was talking to me. And he said, you know, it's crazy because I thought about crying, but I was raised that crying is weak. And so, you know, I have to kind of just soldier through this situation I'm going through because, you know, men weren't told, you know, as men we're told not to cry. And honestly, to everybody out here that's watching this or has watched this, regardless of who you are and where you come from, y'all, let me be the first one to tell you if you haven't heard it already. And I know it's going to be like, this is cheesy. Of course we can try. Please, please, for me and everybody else, it is okay to cry. It is okay to release. Because what happens is when you don't let it out, in whatever way it's supposed to come out, it gets harnessed and stored in your body in ways in which that are more destructive than you think. It eats away at you because it's not, those emotions aren't going anywhere, they're just being stored. So if you have to let out an ugly cry, please let out an ugly cry. And if you're worried about what people got to say about it, or people judging you for having emotions, and people are judging you for having a sense, you know what I gotta say about it? Fuck them. Okay? They ain't your people. They ain't the people if you can't just have it for yourself. If nobody else, y'all, have it for yourself. Okay? Just to release. And if that's not your way of releasing, that's okay. But find a way to let it out. Find a way to release it. Find a way for it to be able to come out. You know? Once again, Pisces is a very, 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 very creative sign, and a creative energy. And it needs to let it out, whether that's through spoken word, whether that's through media, whether that's through, like I said, the water, cleansing, things. Please just let it out. And guess what Venus is going to do when it goes into Aries on the 20th? It's going to give you that sense of self. Okay, this is who I am. Jupiter's going to be there too. This is who it's going to be, and it's going to be so beautiful to see. It's going to be so beautiful to see our collective energy coming into this, that Aries I am, from that Pisces to, okay, to I believe, to boom, I am. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. So when we go from that Leo full moon, from the child, right, that childlike energy, we go into Pisces, which is the last sign, right? It's kind of like we've put on these, or we've stepped into like this healing space and this healing energy, and the universe is like sending this down, like, okay, heal it, like protect it, love it, give it kindness, all this other type of stuff. And when we get to the end, and then Venus and Aries comes in, is like, okay, I'm transformed, or I'm working with this transformational energy, and that warrior energy kind of comes back to you. That warrior energy kind of comes back into self. And like I said, you want to check exactly where this is going on in your houses. But it kind of puts it back on and says, okay, yeah, this is who I am. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down in that, and I'm gonna move forward with my head high. You know, it's kind of like also too, with that new moon in Pisces, it just gives like this remembrance. Like Pisces is remembrance. Like, I know we get lost in like the Neptunian energy and things like that, but it's also that subconscious energy, the unconscious, what we don't know but we know. And I know it kind of sounds like contradictory. It's like, how do you know but you don't know? Because sometimes you know but you don't know. You feel me? Like, I know but I don't know. Pisces. It gives that sense of, I would even go to say ancestral clarity. Before Venus moves into Aries, Jupiter's already there. That's like, this is who you are. Own that shit. We know what you've been through. We've been here the entire time. We've never left your side. We've never left you. We've always been here. says the collective, says the universe, says the ancestors. We've always been here. We just want you to remember who you are so you can step into the mission that we have given you while you're incarnated on this earth. And that's what I'm going to leave y'all with. Jupiter also conjuncts Aries, and I'll leave y'all with this, the 25th through the 28th. It'll conjunct, Jupiter and Aries will conjunct Chiron and Aries. So that Chiron wounded healer is just going to get swooped up in that love. Okay, it's like I said, it's your inner warrior is getting healed. Our inner warriors are being healed. And a warrior is not just all about fight and strife. It's not. It's healing the ego. Okay, it's healing the physical body. It's healing the even defense mechanisms. We can call those weapons, because Aries also rules that. Mars energy also rules weapons. It rules those defense mechanisms that you use to cope with certain things. Those weapons that you used, that wall that nobody can penetrate and get down. It rules all of those things. So just keep that in mind as we step through February. This is a regenerate. Okay, you get what I'm saying. It's going to regenerate you into a place of physical and emotional healing, stepping you back into who you've always been. So I just want to leave y'all with that. I wish y'all nothing but the best. This, before February ends, just know that things are going to look different as we move into this springtime, and onward and forward. And so just definitely take stock, for sure, of how far you come, and where you've been. And I'm not even just talking about in this lifetime. Like, God, like, we've been here for so long, y'all. Like, we've been here, and not necessarily just in earth, but just we've been here, and be proud of how far you came. Be proud of the fact that you were incarnated in such a time of deep transformation. Like, everybody's not going to be able to experience this like we are, like, at all. Like, we've been chosen. The people that are here, we have been chosen to do things that to be on the forefront of things that people wish they could be on the forefront on. And it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. The revolution is not going to be pretty. It's not. But hey, if it's one thing I can say, I live for it. That's why we're here, to do this work, but also to create memories with the people that we love, our tribe, find our tribe, our communities and things, so we can not only see and envision the life that we truly not only want to live, but can live, but really see that through. And I'm going to leave y'all with this, and I promise after that I'm gone, I swear. There's a show called American Gods. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but if you have not seen it, I think it's on HBO. It's amazing. And I think Anansi shows up on Anansi's on the first season. I think they took him out on the second season, but we know why they did that. We're not going to talk about that today. But Anansi is on and this can apply to everybody, but Anansi is on the first season, and there was a scene, and if you don't know the story of Anansi, definitely go look it up, but it's about a spider. Yeah, just go look it up. Basically, this deity, there was a scene where there was a bunch of enslaved people on a ship, and long story short, they were kind of all shackled in chains. And just think of this in the grand scope as I speak about this. Think of the grand scope of the lives that we're all living collectively, and just everything that's going around in the world. But they were all in shackles, and they kind of was like down on the lumps because, they've been taken away from their families and places that they've been, or places that they were, and on the ship, and tied up and all this other type of stuff. So when Nunzi gets on this damn boat, and he looking at them like, you mother, like, what? I know y'all ain't down here just sitting around just locked up. He looking at them like, Have y'all forgotten who y'all, like, you know, like, have y'all forgotten who y'all are? Have we forgotten who we are? And the power that we embody and the power that we hold here? Excuse me? Because if you locked up in these chains and you really believe that you're supposed to be in these chains, then you might as well be dead. You might as well be dead. If you feel that you belong in a chain, and I'm going to just say this just off American Gods, but if you really feel that you are not supposed to be free, and I'm not just talking about materially, but mentally free, you might as well be dead. And I'm not out here pushing anybody to any attempts, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you believe that we were meant to be in a world of chained and chains and no hope for the future, because I've talked to a lot of people that just don't. Okay, I'm gonna make this in another video because I could go on and on for days. I could go. I'm not gonna do that today. We're not here for that. All I'm saying is, keep this in mind while you're moving through this world. Everybody that's on this live right now, and everybody's gonna see this after. Okay, you might as well be dead. Okay, so keep that in mind as we move through these transits, these powerful transits, that if we are not collectively moving towards the worlds in which we see, because we all see how we want this to go individually, but if it's not in a place of elevating ourselves so we can elevate each other, what are we actually doing here? To live, work, and die? Because that sounds boring as hell to me, if you want to ask me what I think about it. Boring as hell. And I don't want to be here for that. And I'm going to keep y'all with that and keep it pushing. But thank y'all so much for being here. Sending y'all my love as we move through this once again. My name is Rainy Storm. Checking in, checking out. That Aquarius PDF file should be uploaded within a couple hours. If not, it will definitely be on there tomorrow. But other than that, sending my love to y'all. And I will see y'all later. Deuces. Oh, also too, follow me on TikTok. And because that's where I'll be posting most of my videos too. I have to make some more videos and things like that. And like I said, I will be here every month and probably giving y'all some videos in between and things like that. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Deuces. Oh, how do I get out this thing? Oh, all right.